skipping school to play at your friend's house, and the end result is being led by a ghost. Then this friend recounted that when you were in 8th grade, you and another friend named H, the two of you skipped school to play at Nye's house. You and H, this girl. Each of you rode a bicycle. You said Nye's house is also in town, but it's very remote. It's deep inside that road, and that road is asphalt. It hasn't been built yet, so it's very scary and can't be walked, and that road is also very dark. However, when you want to go to this girl's house, there are 2 ways to go the road. The first is to go through a barracks. This road is a very popular road people often go every day, and the other road is to go around a small cemetery. You and this girl have been there several times. Nye's house has been played, but every time we go on the road that is next to the barracks is completely empty, and every time we go there, the soldiers in there tease us. So these two are very embarrassed. So this time, the 2 of you decided not to go on the road that is next to the barracks, but try to go on the road that goes around the cemetery to see if the cemetery is really as scary as rumored, because at this time you are also very brave. You are not afraid of ghosts. That black girl is also very timid. At first she refused to go. She said, let's go that way. This way, the cemetery is too scary, but you said there's nothing to be afraid. You are afraid of living ghosts. Aren't you afraid? Afraid of dead ghosts in this world? There are no ghosts. Just go that way with me. You begged her for a while. Then she agreed to go with you on that road. When you were about to go there, the black girl called you You stand here, you buy fried fish balls and me. I run over there, I buy sugarcane juice, go to Nye's house and drink. Then she calls you you buy it. Then you stand at the beginning of the street at that cemetery, wait for her. Then the 2 of you go chung in when you buy it. You hold the bag of fried fish balls. You stand there, you wait for her, but wait forever, but don't see her. It's about 2 p.m. now and you've been waiting forever, sitting and looking around like that. Then suddenly, where is she? She comes and she climbs onto your bike and sits. You're startled. You ask, where's your bike? Where's the bag of sugarcane juice? Why are you hanging around here? You sit on my bike. Where's your bike? This girl, she's silent. Everyone doesn't answer. After a while, she gets on the bike and sits down. She says, let's go, buddy, at this time. You just think, where's her bike broken then? He left his bike at their Pearman's place and then he walked back here. It became raw when he walked back here. He was tired. So you didn't dare ask anymore. At this time they didn't have a phone yet, so they couldn't call each other. When you started to take this hinto, the deep path and into the cemetery, you felt more and more. Your bike seemed to be heavier. The 2 of you rode silently. You didn't say anything to each other after driving for a while. Then you saw a very large grave on the side of the road. This grave was made of earth. They had a stone stele erected in front of the grave. On this stele there were lines of Chinese characters in very bold red. When you saw this grave you were quite surprised, because you saw this grave. It looked like the graves in the movies, too Chinese. You drove slowly, slow down, then you call you point your tay straight down to the grave. You say, hey, this grave looks like in the movies. You, however, then this H also does not answer you. Then you also run. You run for a while. Then your bike chain suddenly breaks. Then you get off the bike, you sit there. You fix the chain and he is standing next to it. Staring at you, he does not fix you at all. At this time you are very upset because it is hot and the bike starts. The chain is standing there. He does not help you. Then you turn around and scold him. You say, oh my God, you get down. You continue to do. Me look. At what you are standing there, you are looking at me all the time. At this time you are fixing the bike. You are shouting at him. Then when you turn around, you see he is gone. There is no one around you. At this time your body is cold. Your legs are all weak. You scream. You say, hey, I'm not joking like that. Don't scare me like that. I'm scared. But 01 AI answered you. There's only you around. This is so scary. You almost fainted, but you still muster up all your courage. You lead the bike to Nye's house. While leading the bike on the road, you just saw an old man herding cows. And you notice this guy is wearing an old army uniform. Oh, but his shirt is very old. It's covered in dust. On his head he's wearing a military helmet, but he's sitting with his face. Dunzo, you can't see clearly his face at this time. When you see someone you're so happy, you shout, you call him uncle, but he's not there. And he was still sitting there with his face down, because this part was quite deserted. So you decided to go there, Eski. Him to lead you to Nye's house to ease your fear. I don't know why. The closer you get to the bike, the louder you shout. But the guy is still silent and sits with his face down. At this moment, you suddenly wake up. At this moment, you see yourself sitting in a thorn bush, and at this moment you also don't understand how you can get into that thorn bush. You are extremely scared, but you still can't scream because your throat is so tight, like someone is choking you at this moment. And Hack just ran over. There you just saw those two, you just screamed. Then those two dragged you out of that thorn bush. At this moment Nye took you home, and Hack led your bike, please. Then the two of them just told that a while ago when the black girl stopped by to buy sugarcane juices, she accidentally met Nikame back from work. Then the two of them just decided to go chung to where your friend was waiting. Then the three of them went into the house, but when the two of them got to your friend's place, they didn't see you anywhere, but they only saw your bike had fallen along the road, and you were sitting in this bush. When Nye's grandmother heard, she understood. She went into the house, took a necklace that Grandma had asked for from the temple, that Grandma had just put on for you, and told the kids from now on not to go on that road again. It's terrible, and Grandma also reminded you, don't just casually point at someone's grave and talk nonsense like that. Then you also asked Grandma about that cowherd Uncle Y. Then Grandma said, you met her, and Grandma didn't say anything more until now. It's been 15 years. You haven't been to Nye's house to play anymore, because Nye's house has been moved to a residential area. That piece of land has now been built, very large hospital. But you don't know. That cemetery is still there or not. The story. Two girls who had a traffic accident to drag someone else to replace their life. You told your uncle's house 7. There was a girl in grade 9. This girl went to a friend's birthday party that day, and this girl had a traffic accident that day, that year. The case of this accident was posted on Facebook and in the press a lot that day. When this girl and her friends went to that birthday party, the whole group went together. It was very crowded. But these girls were very conscious when they rode their bikes going together in a row, not gold horizontal. Then when these kids ran to the intersection of Loch and Thair, suddenly there was a 7-seater car. The driver of this 7-seater car was very drunk, and the car was swerving back and forth. This 7-seater car, it was swerving back and forth. Don't know how, but after a while it was running, it swerved, it crashed into the group of these kids who were driving. What a bad luck. This kid's car was the last car in that line, and this kid was carrying another kid. Then it was hit by this 7-seater car. This 7-seater car hit head on the car of the two kids. So the kid sitting in the back was thrown up, and then it fell onto the road. It died on the spot, and the 7-seater's uncle's niece was the kid sitting in the front. Then it was dragged by this car a while. People there saw it. They shouted. Then this 7-seater car stopped. When this 7-seater car stopped, then the guts and the heart of this child were all exposed. Then the family was very sad. Then they brought this child home for burial. Then after a year since this child died, there was a girl. This girl was also very close to your mother, and this girl also worked with your mother later when that girl had an accident. Then your mother went to visit her. Then that girl told your mother a story, and this story was extremely horrifying. Happened right at the intersection where that girl died. Always this girl said that she had something to do that night, so she had to run across the intersection of Loch Anto, go to work. When she got close to that intersection, then this girl saw far away. There were 2 students standing across Jiang, standing and waving. She was like this because she was in a hurry. So she didn't pay attention to these 2 students. She ran away. At this time she just saw behind her there was a young man riding an exciter. Then when this guy was running, he just sped up, ran alongside her. He just said to her, "Why don't you let those kids have a trick?" At this time she was very scared. She was afraid that these guys were setting up a scene and robbing her. So she also rushed out really hard. She ran away. But at this time that young man, He was still chasing her, he still ran really fast to her, and he said, "Ah, those two kids want her to take them home. If she doesn't let them have Attrick tonight, they will take her legs." Saying this, she was very scared. Then this young man suddenly shot up. The photo cut in front of her car. She couldn't turn her hand in time, so she lost control. Her car fell onto the road. Her hand and face were slightly scratched, and her leg was scratched and crushed. It was all over. Luckily, her leg wasn't broken at that time. The people there saw her fall. They shouted, and they ran to help her after that. They called and her family to let her relatives come. After that, she was taken to the hospital. They bandaged her and took her home. When she got home, she was very scared. She went the next day. She immediately bought fruit-brought incense and went to that intersection to make offerings, to apologize to that person. Please don't follow her anymore. After the offering, she went around that area. She asked the people in, "How is it?" Then people say, "This place." About a year ago, there were two girls who had a traffic accident here. People who go on the road here often see them some days. They saw the two of them sitting and crying some days. They asked people for help some days. They even saw the two of them standing and playing with each other. Then not long after that, there was also a young man. This young man was driving and she was driving too fast. He also had a traffic accident and lost that place now when this girl encountered this incident right away. That place, then people said it was those two girls who dragged this young man away. So now there are 3 ghosts that are causing trouble there. So it was very lucky for this girl that that day her leg was not broken, but only scratched, picking up the dead person's belongings, then handling it like how, to be right. Today's story is a lesson that this friend wants to send to everyone, and hopes that everyone in the future will not do the same, to bring disaster to themselves. This friend is currently a student at a university in Ho Chi Minh City, and his hometown is in Kamali. In his hometown, well, in the past until now, he specialized in extensive shrimp farming and has just switched to industrial shrimp farming for about 7 years. Up until now, everything has been fine, and the shrimp still grow up healthy and normal. Until 2019, his mother decided to move the shrimp farm near his uncle's house to make it convenient for taking care of the shrimp during the process of digging the pond to build the pond. The construction team dug up a cowhide jar in the West. People call it a cowhide jar, but in fact it looks like a jar, a small jar. Everyone, when they opened the lid of this cowhide jar, then discovered inside there was a pair of sandals cross-strap of the woman in the pasta combo set of clothes and a cloth bag, and in that cloth bag, there it contained a jade bracelet. But when everyone opened this cloth bag, then this jade bracelet, it broke when seeing that, then your family also knew what. It was also knew that this thing belonged to the deceased, so that the next day your family also bought a tray of fruit offerings, and also burned all those things. But that night, that at midnight your grandmother was sleeping, then your grandmother dreamed that your great-grandfather came back, because you said that your great-grandfather in the past when he was alive, your great-grandfather was a teacher, then he came back and said, that woman did not want to receive those return gifts because everyone touched her things. Then when Grandma woke up, Grandma told this story to everyone. Everyone in the house was also scared, so they also made another vegetarian tray to worship. This lady apologized to her after more than half a month. Then this shrimp pond project was completed, and your mother also started to release the shrimp fry. They just thought that everything was fine. But what was going to happen? It happened. That night, that's when your mother went out to the small hut outside the shrimp pondo. Then your mother and your new friend slept there to keep the shrimp, but the two of them while sleeping until about 12 o'clock at night. It felt like someone was waiting from under the shrimp pond, and then went out to the water floor to shower. This sound of water was very clear. So that's when your mother thought it was your father going out to look for shrimps and crabs. When your mother shined a light and went out there but didn't see anyone, at first your mother felt very scared, so she left your uncle sleeping out there alone. Then that night your mother went into the house to sleep, and the next morning your mother also made a tray of rice to worship the land, because your mother just thought It was because she hadn't worshipped the land. The local god had just destroyed it, and then everything was back to normal. But the story happened the next day. It was a fateful day. That day you decided to leave Saigon. You went back to your hometown to visit your family. You were also a person of the spiritual school because you had met him a few times in the past. However, you weren't very scared because you thought if you didn't touch anyone, then they wouldn't. If he touched me that night, was the night that you and your mother could never forget. That night it was only 8 o'clock at night then. Your uncle took the lamp and went out of the shrimp pond to see if the shrimp was healthy. While watching the shrimp, then your friend saw a scene that you could no longer walk, but just crawled into the house because you were very scared. At this time in front of you was a woman wearing a ba outfit standing on the floor pouring water, and even more disgusting, that this woman had long hair but at her belly, it looked like it was sticking out, something like a bunch of intestines. It was hanging out. At that time your mother and your uncle ran away, leaving the shrimp pond behind at that time. Hey. Oh, then your mother and your new friend ran straight into the house, going out to the altar of your great-grandfather, sitting there and praying again. Then sorry, it was already dawn. It was about 5:30 a.m. It was also the time when you came back from Saigon. You came back. Then you were surprised. You wondered why your mother and your friend didn't sleep outside the shrimp pond but went out in front of the altar. What did your great-grandfather do? Then your mother told you the whole story. Let you hear it. This friend was also curious, so you asked that mother to sleep with her for one night to see how it was, generally speaking. At home there were already many offerings, but it was probably because that woman, she didn't accept such offerings. So she kept interrupting that night. Then you told your mother to sleep first, and you did your homework until 1 or 2 o'clock. Oh, you finished. And then you slept later that night there. You finished your homework at about 1 to 2 o'clock. At night you just thought you were seeing things. You didn't think people were so spiritual. You just thought you could see people right away. You just shined a light. Around you looked to see if there was that person, but you didn't see it. You thought it was because you were looking at the computer screen. It was too long and your eyes were tired, but it wasn't. Just 5 minutes later, when you looked back again, you saw that woman still standing next to the water tank on the floor and was taking a shower. At that time you said, "You are a very arrogant person and not afraid of ghosts." So you immediately went to find a knife. It was rusty. You just went out to that place. You just slashed randomly in the air. Think you slashed it. You slashed and cursed because you think it's a ghost. It's very afraid of things like lightning knives because those things have a negative nature. At this time you're arrogant. You curse people, and this curse later causes your whole family to ask for permission, have to apologize to people for this sentence of yours. You go out, you cut everything up. You just said, "Where are you guys? Good." You show up, come out and try to see who's brave, who is bigger. So that night you didn't see anything anymore. You also thought you were good. Then it was fine and never met again. But that night everything happened to your uncle. That night because your friend was hungry. So, your friend drove out to buy food at night because this shop was also a familiar shop. So your friend just needed to take his bike out there and people brought him food, but he just took his bike and ran about 200 m/s. Then the friend started not knowing why. While running he fell off his bike. What did he fall down? His arms and legs were all scratched, his face was swollen. That same night his grandmother saw his great-grandfather come back to her dream. His great-grandfather Sato. He said, "Let's see whose guts are bigger." Now he pushed his uncle so he fell to his death like that. Let's see whose guts are bigger than whose guts. Then immediately the next morning. If you've watched this far, don't forget to give Uncle 3 Dewey a like and a subscribe. Bye, everyone.